Whenever you watch tennis on TV, you'll always hear this word aggression, being aggressive, being assertive. And a lot of people use it as a keyword or as a buzzword to tell people how to play. Aggression isn't as cut and dry as many people think it is, and aggression is also very subjective to how you want to play. In this video, we're going to be going over how to have controlled aggression that can suit the way you want to play and apply those specific tactics to a game style that fits your body, your mentality, and all of those things like that. Welcome back to the channel. Let's get into today's video. So starting with the most simple part of being aggressive or having an assertive play style, we're going to look at geography, the different places on the court that can be used to be assertive or aggressive. Now, if we break the court up into spaces, you want to look at the court like a tic-tac-toe board. It's basically a 3x3 for depth and length. The most aggressive locations you can use are the deep three and then the shorter mid sides. So you don't want to go short middle, obviously, for reasons that you're letting the other person be more aggressive to you. But the main reason why we're going to look at the court using these 5 zones is those are the spots that create the most movement and or time pressure with your opponent. So for our first exercise, all I'm going to do is just call out my targets while rallying with an opponent and just look at the way that it's affecting my opponent if I'm hitting those spots. It's not about being able to hit the ball hard. It's just about being able to tactfully move the ball around. And again, we're looking at controlled aggression. You don't have to hit the ball hard when you're trying to play within yourself, trying to play within your own play style or being able to relax. So here's an example of the first thing. I'm just going to have a couple of lines down to illustrate where I'm aiming on the court. So as I said, my main targets are going to be the 3 deep zones. And then if I get the opportunity to go cross, I'm going to be looking for a short cross either on the deuce side or the ad side. The 3 zones I'm going to definitely try to avoid the most are going to be the 3 short spots because you don't want to go drop shot too often. And I definitely want to not go short in the center because that's just going to give my opponent an opportunity to attack me for free. So just by using the main 5 zones, which are the 3 deep and the 2 angled sides, let's see what I can do to Emily. Deep center. Deep cross, deep cross, and then deep cross again. Deep line. So I'm not really hitting the ball super hard, but just by maintaining those targets in my mind, it's very easy to remain in controlled aggressive position. Ready to go? Deep center. Woo. And then Emily can obviously do the same thing to me. Ready? Deep center. Deep line. Short cross. And again, I'm just going slow, but just being really deliberate with my targets. And if I was to play at like a college or professional level, I'd still be doing this in my head. I would just be making the ball move a little bit faster. Deep center. Deep cross. Works for me. One more time. Deep center. Deep line. Short cross. Professional shots. So like you guys saw, very simple. That's something anybody can do. And I said, it's relative to your own speed. If you're playing in a 4-0 contract or 4-5 USTA team, you're just going to hit those same locations based on your own comfort of speed. Now, moving on to the next thing, this one is going to be a little more subjective to the way you want to play. When you're trying to be aggressive, you have to control 3 essential things and figure out which one of these 3 things works for you in terms of taking time away from your opponent. You want to either move into the court to take time away. You want to hit the ball faster so it gets from point A to point B in a shorter amount of time, or you want to lower the ball so that it gets from point A to point B in a shorter amount of time. Any one of those can be effective depending on the way you like to play. If you're a primarily flat hitter, then hitting more flats not really going to be the thing you want to do. You'd want to step in and take time away. If you're a person that already swings as fast as you can, but your ball goes high, you might just think about lowering the ball a little bit. So it's all subjective. But the point is, controlling how you're going to take time away from your opponent is going to allow you to be in a controlled aggressive state because you're being very deliberate with how the pressure is applied. So now I'm going to do the same thing that I just did with Emily before, but you're going to see me changing the way the ball gets to her rather than caring as much about my targets. Here's a quick example of that. So to help kind of vocalize this one, I'm just going to say one of three words. I'm either going to say early, meaning obviously I'm going to try and take the ball early, faster, or speed, meaning I'm just going to increase the speed of the ball, and then lower, meaning I'm going to go from one trajectory to another. Obviously, you don't have to say these things out loud. You can say them in your head, but the point is you can tell exactly what type of pressure I'm trying to apply. So let's do just a few rallies of that, and you can see how it affects Emily again. Quick side note, you want to make sure you don't do this the whole time. You want to apply the pressure when it's time to apply the pressure. So I would start by just maintaining a good rally. Low. So you see, it just brought the ball down. I actually didn't hit that faster. I just made it lower so it felt faster. And again, sticking to the rally first. That's so mean. Bob. Come on. Ready? Starting the neutral. Fast. So I just increased the speed a little bit. So now I'm going to use a high loopy shot. Keeping it up there. And then I'm just going to bring one down. Same exact swing speed, completely different result from Emily. So like you guys saw, I've already done 2 of the 3. Now I'm going to work in taking the ball early. I would just push myself back a little bit and then look for a chance to step in. I'm going to try and hit the same ball every time. Nice little rally ball. And then a nice little rally ball again, but stepping inside the court just a little bit. Same ball speed, but the time between me and her is different. So moving on to our last one, I'm trying to keep these pretty concise because they are very subjective. It's not a drill that you have to necessarily go out and do. It's more of just keeping the intent in the front of your mind when you're practicing. But the last part of this is going to be capitalization. Once you've done a good job of applying the aggression, you want to make sure you don't let your foot off the gas and you do something to keep the pressure on. Whether it's taking the ball early and then moving forward, hitting the ball faster and then hitting to the open court. Any of those options will work, but the main thing is what do you do after the pressure is applied? And you can see the person on the other side cracking a little bit. A lot of people make the mistake right at this part in the point where they see the opening and then they do too much. Remember, the whole title of this video is controlled aggression. You have to then shift your aggression to another stage. So for example, if I'm hitting with Emily or I'm hitting with my opponent and I've taken a ball early, their reaction is going to change, and then my next ball I need to apply some speed, or I need to lower the ball, or I need to take another ball early. I need to apply one of those 3 things twice in a row. You don't want to go from applying it to then resetting yourself in position or resetting yourself in the type of ball that you're hitting. So for the last bit, it's just double application. I'm going to say something and then I'm going to do something else right after it. And last of the quick side notes, the first thing that we did with ball movement should be running in the front of your head while your ball striking, timing, and aggression stuff runs in the back, because you always want to be paying attention to what your targets are and then pick these things to overlap with that. Got it? So now all I have to do is apply pressure twice in a row. So I go from just hitting with her in a nice little rally to looking for a chance to apply some pressure early, and then early again, and make sure the ball's low. So I didn't hit that great shot and then sit back here and wait to see what happened. I hit that shot and I look to take up more ground. So now I'm gonna keep my shots up this time. Nice ball, keep my shots up. Now lower this one. Lower it again. And now I'm inside the court. Low 3 times, step in, volley. So I'm just keeping that little bit of pressure on my side. And as you guys can see, I'm not playing anywhere near the speed that I'm capable of, because you don't have to rely on ball speed as your aggressive tool. It's an option, it's not a requirement. Some people can't hit the ball as hard as I can. It's just the way their body is built. But it doesn't mean you can't be aggressive because you don't have ball speed. It all depends on what you're going to do that suits your game. That's going to wrap it up, guys. As always, I try to keep it very concise and practicable. I think that's a word. But when you guys go out and do this stuff, please do me a favor and focus on one at a time. I made it look very easy because I can already do a lot of these things, but it took me time to work out the timing of each thing or the court position or any of those things. So the main thing I would say is practice them one at a time, figure out which one feels the most comfortable to use majority of the time, and then just have the other ones on the back burner as little added skills that you can use here and there. If you know anybody that would benefit from this stuff, please send it off to them. And again, we crossed 12K, so I'm pretty excited that we have more people joining the team. Until the next video, I'll catch you guys in the next one.